Now I'd like to introduce the author, our special author today, Father Bruce Duncan, who will respond to the Bishop's comments. Thank you, Bruce.
Well, thank you all for coming along today. Many of you, most of you, practically all of you I know quite well. And we've shared the journey, so it's partly the work of your enthusiasm, your encouragement as well. Bishop Vincent, thank you very much for a rather detailed look at the book. So that's given us a real insight into it. I think the church really struggles with this area, don't we? But we all know in our hearts how absolutely critical it is. Because how can people make any sense of the God of the Bible, of Jesus' mission, unless social justice is at the core of it? And what is it all about? God's intense concern for human well-being. Now, it's a marvellous image of God we have, but we don't spell it out very clearly. We don't spell out very clearly his intense identification with people in distress, in trouble, the poor, the code word, the poor. I think we need to do a better job of this. And once those things are clear, then everything else just drops into place. And for young people, when you talk about the social justice movement, their eyes are alight. You know, they're really stirred by it. It makes sense. But if you don't make that link with the social concern and the issues of the world as troubling God, then what sort of God is it to worry about? You know, no wonder. You know, the prophets talk about despising your prayers and your sacrifices because you're ignoring the poor. You know, the message is there. It's very conscious, very deep. It's very authentic in our tradition, and we need to keep grasping it, and not be distracted by the ceremonial side of things or the detail, but to keep the focus clear and strong. And we have a fantastic resource in the Church's tradition about this, how we've attempted to do it over the centuries. Sometimes very well, sometimes very poorly. And I was pleased you mentioned Ozanam there, because Ozanam was such a critical figure at the time, and had he been listened to at that time, I think, wouldn't it have been marvellous if it was Ozanam that people followed for social reform instead of Karl Marx? And it could have been that way. Could have been that way. But there was, after the assassination or the death of the Archbishop of Paris, there was a terrific conservative reaction in the church. So Ozanam had to withdraw from all these activities, all those activities. And he was vilified by other Catholics as supporting the demonic revolution, and even leading Catholic priests at the time were saying the only solution for the poor is to be content with your lot, and God will make it up to you in heaven. Now, that's exactly how Marx pilloried the church, saying that. But what Ozanam and all the other people, I was really struck by all the people we selected in the book. They're all saying the same thing about how concerned God is about justice and the work for peace. And it's a message that we need to get out, not just as a clergy thing. That's why I included people like Barbara Ward. What a tiger! What an immense influence and resource she was for the church. But, Paul VI, it resonated really well with him. So all those around it are supporting. The church needs lay people with intelligence, energy, commitment, endurance to develop better policies, better ways of doing things, better ways of being in church that are really authentic in what we do. Let's hope for the next Pope. It's a big job, an extraordinary burden to lay on anybody trying to take up that job. But let's hope he can do it, and together we share the task. I'm also a bit concerned with the book that was very Catholic orientated, and I was thinking, wouldn't it be marvellous if we could do one that took from the other Christian traditions too, very similar sorts of things, how the social justice commitment plays out, and sort of develop a more common basis. And then another one on the interreligious dialogue, again, how all the major religions are focused on human well-being, how that would play out. So there's a lot of work for you people to do it. Publishing.
The subject of next book.
No, somebody else has to do the next. So thank you very much for coming along today. The books are available, as you can see, for a discounted price today for $25. So that's about $10 off the recommended retail price. So they're available, and hopefully, if the schools can pick it up with their, hoping they'll take it as class sets and so on, there'll be again a special price through Garrett for them. So thank you very much for coming along, and we're about to, it's bringing out some hot food, nibbles for you. And Bishop Vincent, I've done a terrible thing. I've organised meat Friday meat. So can we get a dispensation for our little meat pie?
I'm a Franciscan. A Franciscan have a philosophy that what present to us, we have to eat it.
Thank you very much.